Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, guys. Okay, I'm putting up this picture of Finn in the way of an apology because this is literally one of the longest videos I've ever done. But after I get done with the main topic, I had to bring up what I just found out about the Invictus game. So stay with me. Let's go. I wanted to touch today on what happened again with Sheryl Underwood and Sharon Osbourne. And for those who possibly could have forgotten what happened, here's a clip where Sharon is actually asking Sheryl Underwood what Pierce said that was considered racist.
I've been asking you during the break. I'm asking you again. And don't try and cry, because if anyone should be crying, it should be me. This is the situation. Yes. You tell me where you have heard him say, educate me. Tell me when you have heard him say racist things. Educate me. Tell me.
It is not the exact words of racism. It's the implication and the reaction to it. To not want to address that because she is a Black woman and to try to dismiss it or to make it seem less than what it is, that's what makes it racist.
So if you caught what she said, what she essentially just said was Pierce didn't say anything racist. It's just the implication that he doesn't want to have a conversation. Yeah. But the next thing that Sheryl Underwood said really caught my attention. Listen to this.
That while you're standing by your friend, it appears that you give validation or safe haven to something that he has uttered that is racist.
So what she's basically saying here, in case you didn't catch it, was you're backing up your friend, so you're validating his racism. Now, we all know the response to all of this that went on was that Sharon lost her job. She's now suing CBS because she has a contract and they're going to have to pay her millions of dollars. So you can imagine how I felt when I found this story. George Lopez was doing one of his stand-up comedy shows in 2017, and there was an African-American woman who took offense to some racial jokes that he was telling on stage. Mr. Lopez ended up calling this woman a black bitch and a bunch of other really nasty things, and ended up she got booed out of the venue after she was thrown out by Mr. Lopez. And for those who didn't see it, here's the clip.
Don't marry somebody black and don't park in front of our house. Sit your down. I'm talking, bitch. Sit your down. You pay to see a show. Sit your down. You can't take a joke. You're in the wrong motherfucking place. If you can't take a joke, you're in the wrong. So sit your down or get the out of here. Sit your down or get the out of here. I see you. You got two choices. Shut up or get the out. I'll tell you what, I'll make the choice for you. Get the out of here. Get the out of here. I'll make the choice for you. Bye. You can't take a joke, you're in the wrong place. Bye. And the 4 seats just open up front. What's up, baby?
So yes, he was in the middle of a show, but he yelled at this woman. He used racial slurs. He ended up turning the audience against her. She ended up getting thrown out of the show. Twitter went nuts. And what did Sheryl Underwood do? She came to her friend's defense, made a bunch of jokes about it, and smoothed it over. Here's a clip.
See, that's why we don't want to be recorded inside of the venue, because if you just looking from the outside in, you think, oh, he's attacking this black woman. But once you throw up the bird twice, and you're in the first few rows, you have now inserted yourself into the show, and it depends on the mood of the comic of how they handle it. He did not say he wouldn't marry a black woman, because I'm still in the running to be a Lopez. He said that there's two things you can't do, which is marry a black woman and park in front of your house. Jokes seem to be more racial, more sexist. But when you come into the venue, you have to expect what happens in the house, and he who holds the mic or she who holds the mic runs the house. So, but let me say this too. I am pro-black female, but if you put yourself into it, you're gonna get lit up. I would have said, that's why ain't nobody gonna marry you, because you talking in my joke.
So she made a joke over what he did. She smoothed the whole thing over, but then turned around and attacked Sharon Osbourne for defending her friend who didn't even make a racial comment. They couldn't even come up with one thing that he said that was racially motivated. So Lopez now, because of everything and because of the way his career is going, has now shifted his platform, and he is now rallying Latinos in support of the Black Lives Matter, and he is partnering with New York City together to create opportunities for Black and Latino teenagers. In other words, he's jumped on the bandwagon. Now, Sheryl Underwood then went on a podcast and had a lot of things to say, and in the end, they asked her if she had been in touch with Sharon Osbourne, and she said no, and she opened up her messages and scrolled through to show that there had been no contact. Oh, but Sharon Osbourne wasn't going to let her get away with that, because there were text messages. Sharon sent them to Sheryl, and I guess Sheryl deleted them, and you can see above. She wrote to her, she said, "I love you, I miss you, I didn't mean for this to go this way. I still respect you, I care about you." And Sheryl Underwood's response was to not respond and delete them off her phone and then lie and say she hadn't heard from Sharon. You know, I have to say, one of the things that really irritates me is, first of all, that is the pot calling the kettle black. But now you're going to lie. I mean, these two were friends for years. Why are you going to lie and say that you're not in touch with her and try to control the narrative that way? Because you're afraid of the way people are going to react if they find out you've been in touch with her? I mean, she's your friend. But then again, you did say on national television that if you back your friend, then, it doesn't look good on you. So I guess that's what she's doing. Guys, I need to throw an update at the end of this video. I'm throwing in an update about the Invictus games because something has come to light. So this came out on Twitter, and as you can see, it says no trustee or connected person may, and then there's a list of things, and one of the things it says is receive financial gain from the Invictus games. Now notice right below where the finger is pointing, it says unless the payment is permitted by Article 9.3, or of course if it's court ordered or ordered by the commission. So what does 9.3 say? So 9.3 says things like you can't enter into a contract for supply of services or goods, and you can supply the charity with goods that are not supplied in connection with the charity by the trustees, that kind of thing. But here's where it gets interesting. It would appear that there are no rules against his commercial exploitation of the Invictus games because nobody ever considered a patron, a royal, which is an honorary position, would ever meddle in this sort of thing and make self-profit off of it. So there are no rules that he's breaking per se, but that's like, as Baroness Buck said, and I'm giving this woman full credit, as Baroness Buck said, you don't need rules saying the Queen and Prince Charles can't earn cash out of their patronages because that's just ridiculous. They're there to raise money for the patronage, not line their pockets from the patronage. So I'm not sure how this whole thing is wrapped up. They are doing Archwell Production Company, but the production company and the audio company are under the umbrella of the foundation. So, they're talking about, we're going to give a sizable donation to, the Invictus games afterwards. But notice how they never tell you how much they're donating. I mean, if this makes $20 million, he might give $500,000 and keep the other $19 million in his pocket. Any way you look at it, it's wrong. It's wrong for a royal to line his pockets off of a charity. I'm sorry. And finally, it's Finn update time. You can see he's taken over my couch. So we've noticed that he's changing. His ears keep changing, and I don't know what that is. So here's a picture of him in his first week with us. Notice how his ears are, I call them gimpy ears, but they're so cute and they're bent over. And then here he is again with the gimpy ears. This is like 2 or 3 weeks in, somewhere in that range. And then here he is last night. And not only were both of his ears standing up, but the left ear was actually bent backwards. Like, I don't understand why that's happening. This may sound terrible, but I hope they go back to being bent. So once again, a lot of information. I would love to hear what you think about Sheryl Underwood defending her friend who made racist comments when Sharon Osbourne was smacked for defending her friend who made no racial comments. I would also really like to hear your thoughts on the fact that Harry is going to make money off of the charity. That just shocks me. Anyway, don't forget to leave your comments and thoughts below. I love reading them. Don't forget to email me. You know I read every email. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget about that coffee fund. And as always, have a great day.